Hello, dear readers. So, Paris Talks, we are on the third talk by Abdu'l-Baha, given in 1911. So, these talks were given in Paris, all around spiritual topics and ways of being, and any questions, I guess, that had arisen within society in that time. So the third talk's topic is God is the great compassionate physician who alone gives true healing, on October 19th. All true healing comes from God. There are two causes for sickness. One is material, the other spiritual. If the sickness is of the body, a material remedy is needed. If of the soul, a spiritual remedy. If the heavenly benediction be upon us while we are being healed, then only can we be made whole, for medicine is but the outward and visible means through which we obtain the heavenly healing. Unless the spirit be healed, the cure of the body is worth nothing. All is in the hands of God, and without Him there can be no health in us. There have been many men who have died at last of the very disease of which they have made a special study. Aristotle, for instance, who made a special study of the digestion, died of a gastronomic malady. Avicenna was a specialist of the heart, but he died of heart disease. God is a great compassionate physician who alone has the power to give true healing. All creatures are dependent upon God, however great may seem their knowledge, power, and independence. Behold the mighty kings upon earth, for they have all the power in the world that man can give them, and yet when death calls they must obey, even as the peasants at their gates. Look also at the animals, how helpless they are in their apparent strength. For the elephant, the largest of all animals, is troubled by the fly, and the lion cannot escape the irritation of the worm. Even man, the highest form of created beings, needs many things for his very life. First of all, he needs air, and if he is deprived of it for a few minutes, he dies. He is also dependent on water, food, clothing, warmth, and many other things. On all sides, he is surrounded by dangers and difficulties against which his physical body alone cannot cope. If a man looks at the world around him, he will see how all created things are dependent and are captive to the laws of nature. Man alone, by his spiritual power, has been able to free himself, to soar above the world of matter, and to make it his servant. Without the help of God, man is even as the beasts that perish, but God has bestowed such wonderful power upon him that he might ever look upward and receive among other gifts healing from his divine bounty. But alas, man is not grateful for this supreme good, but sleeps the sleep of negligence, being careless of the great mercy which God has shown towards him, turning his face away from the light and going on his way in darkness. It is my earnest prayer that ye be not like unto this, but rather that ye keep your faces steadfastly turned to the light, so that ye may be as lighted torches in the dark places of life. So that is I guess my take on that is that true healing is of spirit. And yes, of course, like physical remedies are needed when you are sick physically, and you go seek that from physicians and all of these things. But in the end, if the spirit is not well, if the soul and there's something missing there, you can't soar above that. you will be limited to the body and the ailments that are happening. And it reminds me of different stories of where, you know, miracles have happened of healing around the world, where people have really suffered physically, but if their spirit is strong and they keep, you know, to their devotion to humanity, to reading, you know, all these scriptures and things that you resonate with, it can really lift and strengthen your inner solitude and your inner direction. But even just, you know, like inner peace, like just that steadiness and that that steadfastness in love, because that's what it comes down to. It's pure love. So it's really beautiful reminder, I think, to hear that, and just to know that is it really is powerful when you strengthen the spirit, because even if you're not, you know, doing anything to show for physical or material achievements, whether it's a status or money or, you know, the things of this world, if your spirit is pure and anyone you come in contact with can feel safe in your presence, and you know that you can trust yourself and that others can trust that and trust you, it's really beautiful, because the world needs more of that. Yeah, so that's what I feel from that. It's no matter what's happening physically, it goes hand in hand, but without spirit, physical means nothing. You will perish away regardless. So it is quite something. But yes, so I mean, I can just go into the fourth topic as well. I think I will do that. So the fourth talk was about the need for union between the peoples of the East and the West, which was given on Friday, October 20th. So I'll read it out, but again, like, I'm just reading the book out as I am, so it's not really trying to say anything, but it's a version of the audiobook really, but just with some commentaries, you know. Yes, excellent. Got it cold out, but didn't really need to say that, but yes. So this is the need for union between the peoples of the East and the West. So Abdu'l-Baha said, in the past as in the present, the spiritual sun of truth has always shone from the horizon of the East. Abraham appeared in the East. In the East, Moses arose to lead and teach the people. On the eastern horizon arose the Lord Christ. Muhammad was sent to an eastern nation. The Bab arose in the eastern land of Persia. Baha'u'llah lived and taught in the East. All the great spiritual teachers arose in the Eastern world, but although the sun of Christ dawned in the East and the radiance thereof was apparent in the West, where the effulgence of its glory was more clearly seen, the divine light of his teaching shone with a greater force in the Western world, where it has made a more rapid headway than in the land of its birth. In these days the East is in need of material progress, and the West is in want of a spiritual idea. It would be well for the West to turn to the East for illumination, and to give in exchange its scientific knowledge. There must be this interchange of gifts. The East and the West must unite to give to each other what is lacking. This union will bring about a true civilization where the spiritual is expressed and carried out in the material. Receiving thus the one from the other, the greatest harmony will prevail. All people will be united. A state of great perfection will be attained. There will be a firm cementing, and this world will become a shining mirror for the reflection of the attributes of God. We all The Eastern with the Western nations must strive day and night with heart and soul to achieve this high ideal, to cement the unity between all the nations of the earth. Every heart will then be refreshed, all eyes will be opened, the most wonderful power will be given, the happiness of humanity will be assured. We must pray that by the bounty of God, Persia will be enabled to receive the material and mental civilization of the West, and by divine grace to give in return her spiritual light. The devoted energetic work of the united peoples, Occidentals and Orientals, will succeed in establishing this result, for the force of the Holy Spirit will aid them. The principles of the teachings of Baha'u'llah should be carefully studied, one by one, until they are realized and understood by mind and heart. So will you become strong followers of the light, truly spiritual, heavenly soldiers of God, acquiring and spreading the true civilization in Persia, in Europe, and in the whole world. Persia is now called Iran. This will be the paradise which is to come on earth, when all mankind will be gathered together under the tent of unity in the kingdom of glory. That is quite beautiful, very beautiful. Well, thank you so much, dear ones, for being with me on this, and then we'll resume with talk number 5 in the next one. Much love.